EduTech Guys present a conversation from our live coverage of FETC in Orlando, Florida on Wednesday, January 24th, 2018. Enjoy the program.
Hi, my name is Rushton Hurley. I run a little nonprofit called Next Vista for Learning. That's nextvista.org. It's an online library of videos by and for teachers and students everywhere. Free to use, free to contribute to, free to download from, all from a student audience. And it's my own little attempt to save the world from ignorance, one creative video at a time.
Awesome.
It's the first time I've said that, actually. So.
Is it? Well, it sounded.
Chance,
that was a great elevator pitch.
Come on.
A few times.
That's awesome. So I know you're doing 7 sessions?
I'm doing a whole slew of
A
sessions.
slew of
here.
sessions. Yes.
Which is cool, all right, because every session's different.
Yeah.
There's a different vibe in the room. The people who come in, there's going to be some sense of what's possible based on what they're excited about and what they interact about. Mm-hmm. And so getting a chance to do a lot of different ones is wonderful. It's a wonderful opportunity and a responsibility.
Sure.
Right, because you got to bring something good every time. You can't be like, well, it's me, therefore you can't do that, right? You got to have something good for them.
Right.
And I feel like I learn every time I walk into a session, and whether I'm sitting there and listening to somebody else, or I'm delivering and listening to what people say back to me.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, what people get excited about at these kind of gatherings is just that whole sense of there is always the possibility that I'm going to step into something and it's going to be wildly cool.
Yeah.
And not every session is, fair enough,
Yeah.
but by and large, you get a lot of wildly cool, when a bunch of teachers who are excited to share things and are trying different things out, are in that space. I think the first time I went to an ed tech conference and somebody, said something to the effect of, let me show you this thing I did with the kids. They thought it was great. I thought, oh my God, my people, this is awesome.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
And I love that's the vibe, at a gig like FETC.
Yeah, it is the vibe, isn't it? So that's kind of your message through whatever session you do, though, isn't it? It's like, come on, let's do this. Let's get the kids
Let's
excited.
find cool things.
Yeah.
Let's get them,
Yeah.
kind of past their own little barriers that they put up, because they do.
Mm-hmm.
That whole sense of, oh, who's watching and blah blah. And you have to fascinate them to the point where they're like, whoa, wait a minute, what just happened?
Yeah.
And that's not to say we have to be, the most interesting people alive. We just have to get things in front of them that interrupt the predictability that they feel when they often walk into class.
Yeah.
So if they walk in and they're like, wait, what's that? And you've asked them to do something a little different. All right, guys, here's this image, and I want you to align this with what we talked about yesterday in class. Go, right? Which is so much more effective than let me now review the main concepts from yesterday.
Right.
And
Yes.
where they're kind of like, oh, that means I don't have to listen today because you'll tell me tomorrow.
Right.
Instead, it's more like, hey, what did we talk about yesterday? And now they're talking to each other, kind of coming up with that kind of thing. And I think that's important, to find those moments where they're getting engaged quickly.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's cool. So give us a gist of your sessions you're doing here.
Sure. So just did a workshop this morning on the power of simple video. My little nonprofit's kind of all about that, right?
Yeah.
Doing another workshop on Friday morning called The Power of Images and Audio, not dissimilar. Then I've got sessions titled things like Making Your School Something Special, much better staff and team meetings, which sounds like something to be like, you got to be kidding. People come out of the woodwork.
Yeah.
Because it's a shared pain point.
Right.
Sure.
Well, that's true.
Yeah,
That's true.
and the truth is that there are places where the staff meetings are things people love, but that takes a little work. You have to kind of get into it rather than just, all right, here, this is really important. You can't go that way.
Yeah.
So I'm also doing a thing called Strong Starters for Class, and then I finish up on Friday afternoon at 1 o'clock with one called Helping Teachers Get Better.
Okay.
Yeah, and that really comes out of a belief that there are little things that we're capable of doing to become better and much better teachers, but we have to be willing to experiment a little and to try ideas and to share ideas with colleagues and to kind of get out of our silos.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of fun to be had for doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's talk about two things. Making your school something special.
Sure.
Yeah.
So
Give me more.
oh yeah. So
I'd like to know.
I wrote a book.
Okay.
Called Making Your School Something Special. And I start with this idea of like, okay, you're in a grocery store, and you end up next to this person in line, and you're in line for a long time because you both thought it was the shortest line. It's not.
Right.
It never is.
It never
right?
is, yeah.
And so in talking to this person's got like the kid in tow, and the kid's about that age where might go to your school in the fall. And the parent finds out that you teach there and says, oh, we were thinking about sending Chris to that school. Tell me what's special about your school.
Okay.
Now, how do you answer that, right? A lot of people answer that badly. Well, you see, we really care about the kids. Well, isn't that nice, right? That's very nice. Let's all agree that that's very nice.
Right.
And doesn't tell you squat about what that child will experience.
Yes.
Really what the parent's looking for is, what will my child do? What are the moments that are going to happen such that the kid comes home and says, we did this at school today, it was awesome. How does that happen? And that happens because teachers get together and try out really cool activities that are memorable. Memorable learning is the key. And I think that happens when people essentially start pushing things in a good direction. Hey, we tried this. How do we make it better? And you ask the students that as well, right?
Yeah.
Hey, guys, if we do this again, what could we do to make it better for your learning? And you may get several lame suggestions. Lame suggestions happen.
They
and
happen.
then some kid may say something that completely changes your professional career, right? Well, not changes your career, changes the arc of your career, right? You can't believe what this kid said. I'm leaving
that's a whole
teaching.
other thing.
I'm
That's
going to
totally
Lowe's
different.
to load lumber. That's it. Yeah.
But yeah, if we don't ask, we don't get those insights that they have that can be so amazing and be so empowering to the kid for having seen us act on their suggestions.
Yeah.
When they know we're listening, right? It's a very different environment than if we're just one more person showing up and tallying points and giving grades.
Right. Yeah.
That's really.
That's very cool.
So
I should add, actually, sorry about that.
Yeah, go ahead.
I should add that the next step in that,
Yeah.
and a hefty piece of the book and the session, come down to how do we then tell the stories of those successes? When great things happen in the classroom, how do we let other people know? How does the community know that these things are happening in the classroom? And unless that's a part of it, you're not getting to where you can be.
Right.
Because good PR can translate into good PD.
Yes.
because now we're talking about how to get better and how to help others understand the possibilities that we create for kids.
Right. Well, you've
good
got to be
motivator.
You've got to be able to tell your story. You've got to be able to
Yes.
share your story.
Yeah.
And it's really funny. A lot of us in education, for whatever crazy reason, we have this block about tooting our own horn. You've got to. If you're not going to toot your own horn, no one else is going to do it for you.
Yeah.
Or they're not going to tell your story your way.
Not
They're
a
going
chance.
to tell it their way.
Right.
So you've got to be able to step up and share your story, talk about the great things that are going on, and get the word out about, why your school is something special.
Absolutely. By and large, teachers are a humble crowd, and there is strength in humility. I believe that to the core of my being.
Sure.
And yet, right, why do we hold back? Sometimes, let's be blunt, it's because we're trying to protect the fragile egos of some of the people we work alongside
True.
who don't want anybody challenging them to push themselves.
True.
That's harsh, but it's true.
Right.
Those people in particular need to raise their game in order to better enjoy life and what it means to have the awesome responsibility and pleasure of being a teacher.
Yeah.
Now, additionally, there is this little thing of, if you're doing something amazing and you tell me about it, I may now have an idea that will allow me to reach the next kid. And our responsibility to that next kid requires us to say, I'm willing to listen to amazing things happening elsewhere.
Yes.
We can't, just for the fun of being a teacher, you have to be in that space of, tell me the awesome stuff,
Yeah.
which kind of gets us back to why people come to events like FETC,
Yeah.
and any number of other great conferences.
Right.
Because they want to hear the great stuff and go back and make things happen
Yeah.
for their kids, especially those kids for whom everything we've tried so far hasn't quite worked.
Right.
Yeah.
Because what's better in education than getting that kid to connect, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's and that's interesting. That's why poster sessions have taken off the way that they have. This is that opportunity. You go to ISTE, you talk about crazy poster sessions at ISTE are just
On
they
and
take
on
up
and
this
on.
entire thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. But here too, I mean, it's gotten huge, and that's it. So let's talk simple video.
Let's do it.
We believe in audio. We believe in video too.
I was going to say,
and we believe
I'm a
in-
YouTuber, so I believe
Yeah,
in
he's a
video. I
YouTuber,
believe
so-
in video a lot.
we are a digital media crowd.
Yes,
Absolutely.
yes.
And that's to me that is the perfect opportunity for a teacher to expand their narrative
Yes.
and for the students to learn about creating their narrative
Finding their voice.
Finding their voice.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And expanding it constantly. That's the thing educators, we don't do.
Not enough of.
A lot of educators, that first year bio hangs around with them for 20 years.
Have you been teaching 20 years, or you've been teaching 1 year 20 times?
Exactly.
That's right.
That's where we're sitting. you know.
Absolutely.
But yeah, so give us your take on simple video. I know you did the session on it already today.
Uh-huh.
So, but hit me up.
So getting kids to do video is much less complex in terms of implementation than most people believe. Granted, it can be a whole lot of misery if you do it wrong, right? So techniques that I get in front of groups where we're talking about implementing video, things like this, include things like give them plenty of time, right? So there may be 6 weeks attached to this video project,
Right.
but in 2 weeks the script is due, and the script is what gets the grade. Right, because the script shows that the kid is able to put the content together in such a way that it's going to make sense.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing, and that's the tie to more traditional techniques that work, and that's fine. Now, some people will be like, well, if what you're doing is grading the script, why would they care about the video? And I would say that's the audience. So there's a big difference between a video that's made for the teacher and a video that's made for anybody else.
Exactly.
And something I've been saying for years, right? If kids know that others will see their work, they want it to be good. If it's just for the teacher, they want it to be good enough.
Right.
Right.
And that quality orientation is very important. And I believe that when kids know that the rest of the room is going to see it, they're into it. They want everybody to go like, hey, that was cool. And by and large, they get there. Video is a cool tool for getting kids to get excited about each other's work.
Yeah.
So now we're kind of in that space of all right. We got the audience thing. What else? I recommend that that teachers allow students, instead of doing a video, to do a poster and present it to the class. And you might say, well, but why that? I mean, doesn't that take away from the magic? Look, you're trying to address two things with that. One is the parents' concern, because you've always got those parents who are like, I can't believe that you've assigned a video project and you're not taking time to instruct our students on how to make videos, and my taxes pay your salary, and all that fun stuff there, right?
Yes.
And to be able to turn and say, no, they have the option of doing a poster and presenting it to the class. Oh, right. So what we want is for to get that parent's kind of issues out of the way.
Yeah.
While understanding that the kid is going to hear that, and no self-respecting kid is ever going to do the poster. Because if David, you're up first and you do a video,
Yeah.
and everybody's like, hey, that was cool, and I'm up next and I'm like, here's my poster, right? No one wants to be that kid. No one wants to be that kid. So the natural response is, okay, well, what do you do then? I mean, if a kid doesn't know how to make videos, because loads of kids don't know how to make videos.
Sure.
You say you may work alone or with one or two others. So you give them the opportunity to work with partners. Now, the one or two others have to agree to work with you. I mean, rather than, that whole thing of like, I'm working with him. He's over on the side going, no, right?
Yeah.
No. Come to agreement there. But once they have that chance to work with somebody who knows what they're doing with video, they'll pick it up quickly. You don't need to take time in class to explain WeVideo or iMovie or Adobe
Right.
Spark even. I mean, you just cut them loose.
Right.
Cut them loose.
Exactly.
They'll come up with cool things, and when they turn it in, what do they turn in? They turn in a link. And if you click on the link and a video starts, they turned it in. And if not, they didn't. Right? Because that's something you can check ahead of time. I need more time. No, you don't.
Right, exactly.
It's late, but I'm looking forward to seeing what you put together.
Yes.
So I think that, with some simple pieces in play, you can cover those things. I had a couple other rules: no death, right? No violence. Like I'm not. The kids
So basically,
like,
anything Logan Paul puts on, don't put that in your video.
There's a certain kind of approach to what happens in the classroom, I guess. And
That's right.
it has to do with your stomach as to what you can deal with.
Well, that is true too.
By the way, the other thing you just got to know: time limits.
Yeah.
Very, very, very short.
important.
Very short, right?
Yeah.
45 seconds.
Yeah.
Oh, but that's not enough time for outtakes.
Oh, it's more than you think.
Exactly.
Yes.
I would love to avoid
Yeah.
your bloopers.
Yeah, my title credit runs 30 seconds. What's it?
Yeah, that's right.
Is that right?
Yeah, exactly.
All
The
right.
intro to my movie is 2.5 minutes. No. It's
So
not.
I'm going to wrap this up here.
So speaking of time limits,
Speaking of time limits, well done.
So
Great segue.
Folks want to find you. The best way to get in touch with you is
So a lot of different ways to do it. You can reach me at nextvista.org, nextvista.org. There's a contact at the top. That'll make it to me. I blog on whim at rushtonh.com, rushtonh.com.
Okay.
You can contact me that way. There's at rushtonh.com/5day, the number 5.
Okay.
There's a little bit about getting better as a teacher, kind of some options over 5 days. Choose one of these 2 things. As long as you think it's cool, give it a shot. It's a couple of minutes, might make you a better teacher.
Cool.
Things like that. People can email me, of course. I'm of the OCD kind of realm that says, if it's in the inbox, I got to handle it. So I answer every email eventually. But that's RH, just my initials, RH at nextvista.org.
Cool.
Awesome. Very
Twitter?
cool.
Twitter at RushtonH. And then I'm on Instagram a lot more than I'm on Twitter.
Lately, me too.
I was a little late to Instagram, though, so I'm at Rushton Was Taken.
Okay. That's perfect.
Thank you for understanding.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Much appreciated.
Have a great FETC.
Absolutely.
Thanks for sitting down with us.
Great
Before
talking
you
to
go,
you guys.
we're going to give you a parting gift.
Little tchotchke.
A little tchotchke to remember us by.
Just so you
and-
can be horrified in the morning when you see that button and go, oh, God.
In life, there are those with the EdTech Guys radio button and those without.
That's
There you go.
exactly right.
And it is better to need it and not have it than to have it and not need it.
Just remember, when the trumpet sounds,
Wait.
throw it to the side.
I'm not sure that applies.
Guys, thank you so much.
Thanks,
Thank you
Rushton.
so much.
It's really nice
Appreciate
to
it.
meet you.
You've been listening to a recorded conversation from EduTech Guys live coverage of FETC 2018. For more information about EduTech Guys, visit edutechguys.com. And thanks for listening.